All right, welcome in everybody to the Cowboy Slot Channel. My name is Brantley, and joining me today is Chris from Slot Machines Unlimited. And today's topic is all about building a game room at your house. I'm here in my game room tonight, and it's actually a good time for this topic, Chris, because obviously football season just started. We've got Super Bowl coming up in February. A lot of house parties are going to happen,
Right.
so it's a good time to talk game room, especially. So, guys, if you have any questions about building a game room, or kind of what you guys would like to see in a game room, or any questions at all, leave those down in the comments. So, talking about game rooms, obviously, slot machines have got to be a staple, especially if you love slot machines. You've got to have at least one. What I've found is slot machines are kind of like potato chips or tattoos. You get one, and then eventually you end up wanting more and more and more
Hear that a lot.
as time goes on. But also, Chris, you guys also sell. I saw you actually listed a roulette wheel again.
We,
Excuse
we
me.
did. We did. So from time to time, we'll get like table game offers. To be completely honest, we don't. There's a lot of people that have them. Like behind you, you've got the roulette table, or
Yeah,
people
I've got
or
mine.
do poker tables. Storing those things in a warehouse when our main thing is it's not feasible, so we don't get a whole lot of them. But I will buy the roulette wheels. They're easy to store. They're easy to ship. Like so we shipped you one. It came in I think it came in a crate, didn't it? Yeah, it came in
Yeah, I did.
a wooden crate. Um, but I kind of forgot we had them because we never get them. So they're authentic
They're hard.
roulette wheels.
They're hard
Yeah,
to
they're
find.
authentic. Roulette wheels. It's not the stuff you buy on Amazon that's $122 or whatever. So, but yeah, people always call us for roulette wheels, table games as such, arcade games. We don't dabble in the arcade games, and then obviously slots, football, beer kind of go hand to hand. All that stuff kind of mixes in. But a lot of people will buy the machines for a few reasons. They hit a jackpot. That's the biggest one.
Yeah.
Their wife or husband's favorite game. It's a different style of gift, and it just, at least for me, I've been around casinos for a long time. I know you have as well. Like, I'm not some massive big gambler, but I just like the feel of the casino, and that's kind of what you get when you have a machine in your home. You get that. Hey, remember that time we hit that jackpot on the double
Yeah.
top dollar, and Dave was a drunk, and like it just brings that kind of into it, and that's why the retails is just I just love doing the retail because so many people are happy with it. You're selling a used product, and it makes people happy. It makes people think about casinos, even if they lost money in the machine, which typically is
You know,
cool with them. But
the memories are really cool to preserve, especially having that at your house. But I will tell you this, like, especially, I've been thinking about throwing a Super Bowl party this year,
hmm
and I've had a lot of get-togethers and stuff at my house, and it's always a smash hit. We get everybody down here. Uh, we'll have like a full table of roulette, and I have a blackjack table over off camera, and then everybody's playing the machines, and it's always a really, really fun time. And it's kind of one of those of you become the party house essentially,
yeah,
because then everyone
yeah,
wants to come back. And I think one thing that I'm missing in this room that I think I really need to get is a TV. I need to actually mount a
it
TV on the
might.
wall. I
Yeah,
think that would be really cool,
that
have
might
a
make
big
a little
TV.
sense.
So
It might make
yeah,
sense
so
to put a TV down there.
you put the game on, and everybody's down
Exactly.
here playing and having fun. It absolutely makes sense to do. But I tell you, the slot machines are always a popular hit.
Yeah.
And they very rarely have issues. I mean, they pretty much just sit there and do their
I
thing,
mean,
and
how many
it's always
people do
fun
you
to.
know randomly that have slot machines in their home? A lot of people don't
Exactly,
even think
it's a cool
you can get them.
thing. It is a very cool thing. Very cool thing to have. I know we got some questions rolling in
Sure.
here from the live chat. Well, EJ's Casino Escapade says he would want a bubble craps machine. Now that I would not recommend for the home use at all. Definitely would not recommend that. Buy a real craps table. Don't buy that. And plus, a real craps table is more fun and
Yeah.
less maintenance. Much harder
We have sold
to.
one before. We have sold. Somebody bought one retail, put it in their home.
Oh
Crazy.
wow,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. I
Well, they paid
definitely would
enough.
not
We had
recommend.
a tech from Aruze actually come and do it.
Oh,
Kids are
wow.
fighting everything. Yeah, somebody put it in their basement.
that's
I
that's
yeah.
unique for sure.
Right.
That's very unique. And then Rockstock was asking, are Class 2 machines easier to buy than Class 3? Well, here's the thing. You can absolutely buy a Class 2 machine, but it's not going to work. It'll be a paperweight in your house because you've got to remember Class 2 is a bingo device. So you have to have it has to connect to a bingo server in order to work. So you, unfortunately, having Class 2 in your house, unless you happen to have a bingo server at your house, which I think you'd probably be the first to have that, wouldn't work. So it's all the machines are Class 3 that would be for home use. Absolutely. Oh, here's a good question from Cruising with Thomas. Do you guys sell the risers or benches that you can sit out a slot machine on? So like stands and chairs. I
We
think
do.
didn't you just get the Mirage stuff?
We did. We got some. We got a bunch of chairs from the garage. We already sold them all. So we do get chairs in. We do get stands. And again, just being upfront, honest, it's really hard for us to just sell one chair or two chairs. How do you
Right.
ship them? Same with the stands. They're metal stands. I can't just. I guess I could, and we've done it in emergencies. FedEx it, but it's not worth it for us to do it. So typically, if we're going to do stands or chairs, you're going to have to buy a group of them so we can make it make sense on the pallet. It's expensive to ship. Or obviously, if you buy a machine, we always suggest get it when you get your machine. We can put it on the same pallet. But yeah, we typically always have stands or chairs in our warehouse.
Yeah, I saw you got the Mirage stuff, and I was
We
like,
did,
those
yeah.
chairs actually looked pretty nice too.
They
Did
were
those go
actually.
to
Go ahead. Sorry.
did those go to like did those go to individuals or did you resell them to a
We sold
casino?
a
I'm
few
just
to
curious.
individuals, but we sold a container overseas. We sold them in South America, the container, but we kept, I don't know, 15 or 20, for home use.
Who knows? Maybe somebody wanted them for their dining room. You never know.
I know, I know. I missed out on that. I wanted to get out of my warehouse though, just being honest.
Right.
We did get some
Let's
stands
see.
from there too.
I bet their stands are pretty nice.
Yeah, they were solid.
Were they in good shape? Yeah.
They were solid.
Let's see. Are these real slot machines? Yes, they are real slot machines. They're all from casinos. So when you buy a slot machine, it's going to come to your house and it's going to be exactly like it was at the casino. Obviously, a little more cleaned up than it was at the casino and refurbished and working. But yes, they are real slot machines directly from a casino. Let's see. Let's see. Cruising with Thomas says my machine is just sitting on the carpet since I don't have a stand to sit it on, and they seem hard to get since the weight of the machines. I actually built some stands myself. So the stand that I have, I have a Ainsworth must hit by machine that has the MultiWin 7 software on it, and I actually built that stand myself. They're pretty easy and simple, and I'm usually not extremely handy. So if I can build a stand myself, then I like to say if I can do it, anybody can do it because
I may not be
I'm not
able
very
to.
handy with stuff.
I'm not very
I'm not
handy
very
either.
handy with stuff like that.
You can figure out a stand, like they're just. I know people. Well, why don't you sell one? It's a pain in the ass to ship.
Right.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, this stand's $100, and shipping to Wyoming is $350 for a stand. Like, how do you tell that to a customer? And it's a hard sell. So we just always packaged it with machines. Same with the chairs.
So, I'm curious. We were talking a little bit before the show. Most popular game right now that people are wanting to buy for their house. Huff and Puff.
Huff and Puff. Yep.
Huff and Puff.
And we got
Everybody wants that, and it's a cool game. It really
Yeah.
is. Like, the problem that I have, like, I love the game of Huff and Puff, Huff and More Puff.
Mm-hmm.
They're super fun games, but obviously you play them in the casino, you can lose your ass really quick. So it's kind of like the perfect machine to get for your house because you can play it at extremely high levels and get your fix on it. And then by the time you get to the casino, you'll be like, oh, I can play this at home for free.
Yeah.
Not get totally wrecked and not get worried about getting wrecked on it. But yeah, Huff and Puff of all games, and they're starting to come out onto the market a lot more now. How many do you have right now?
Well, as far as Huff and Puff, because we can put it in a few different cabinets, so we have several hundred, to be honest, of the Huff and Puff, because we can put it on different various cabinets. But the thing with Huff and Puff now is it is still it's a newer machine for the used market. The machines are fairly expensive still, and it's going to be for a while. Why? Because those machines are extremely popular. The cabinets that we put Huff Puff in our foreign markets, so that's going to keep the price up of that machine. So sitting here saying, "Well, I'll get a Huff and Puff in a year from now when the price drops," you're probably not going to see it drop for a while because it's a new cabinet for the used market.
Right.
So. And that's with anything any of the newer stuff that comes out. It's going to be expensive, just because our main business is selling them overseas. So we got to keep the price. It just is what it is because we got to buy them. But yeah, as far as we have plenty of them in stock right now, so people are interested in them. We can show you a couple different variations of what we have. I'm sure people are wondering what's the price on them. Typically, for home use, they're kind of be between 5,000 and 7,000. For a Huff and Puff, we have some more expensive versions, but again, those go in cabinets that we've got to save for when somebody's buying container loaded machines, like a J43 or a Wave XL, or typically your typical home buyers typically not dropping $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 on. Not saying we haven't sold them, but for the mass market. We don't really offer it in those cabinets because we got to keep them.
Yeah, but they are available. So if
Yep.
somebody does want a Huff and Puff, or I believe I saw in one of your pictures that was the Huff and More Puff with the wheel on
Yeah,
it.
we do have
Yeah.
Huff and More Puff. Yep.
Yep. So that one is available. And by the way, guys, if you're out there watching this either live or later on, if you do decide that you want to check into getting a slot machine, whether it's one we mentioned or whether it's another one that you just thought of, we have the number up on the screen. You can always text is always preferred, but you can call and get information on machines or just general availability on stuff. And then also mention Cowboy Slots, and you get to save a little bit of money on your order, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a couple of people in here, of course, we get this question a lot, is the pinball and Top Dollar. I know the stocks of pinball and Top Dollar have been kind of in and out and in and out. It's like once they come in stock, it's like they're pretty much gone. And then we'll get another, you guys get some more in, and then they're gone. They
don't
do sell
last.
very, very quickly. Yeah,
they don't
sell
last. And sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just get passionate about Top Dollar and pinball because it's always asked about. I personally think it's the two most popular. I think it's more popular than Wheel of Fortune now. That's just my opinion on how often I get asked for that machine, because I think Wheel of Fortune screwed up big time with their new platform. It's just not as fun. I like the Top Dollar behind you. I'm playing that any day.
Oh yeah.
Over the newer ones. It's just a nostalgic thing, and it just I don't know. It's just the way that it feels, and they don't even come out that much because people still play them. People still play those machines. If you go to Vegas, you were going to find a lot of them in Vegas in the high limit rooms. People put tons of money into those machines. And we do have some Top Dollars in stock at the moment. We do have some.
Which ones do you have?
I know we have a couple SAVP version, which is the newer version of the one behind. I think I know we have a double Top Dollar and a round top, and then we have a Top Dollar that's in a 5 line, and then we still have our Top Dollar Deluxe, and we have a Top Dollar Deluxe in the SAV platform, which is the newer platform. We might be able to build one or two more. We've got a couple cabinets out there that need some work, but I know we have 3 that are just ready to go.
I know they don't stick around long. So
they don't. No, if we advertise them and really push them, and they're I mean, pinball. If I put a pinball on Facebook, and I'm gonna ask $10,000 for it, I'm gonna get it within 48 hours. I am.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not because I'm trying to take advantage of anybody. It's just that's what they go for. People will pay it, and I could just sell it to like Circa. I think we've been over this before.
Yeah.
Circa bought a machine through another company that I sold to. They spent like $25,000 on the pinball. I sold the machine. I didn't have to do anything to it for like 10 grand. So
Yeah.
I had to live with it. I had to deal with the customer. So the money, the market, the money is there for that machine. It just bringing so much money.
Yeah. So that's how it is. I mean, they are expensive games,
Yeah.
especially those classic pinballs. Now, you guys have S3000 cabinets that you can put the pinball software in. Do you
Yes.
have software for that right now?
I don't know, but I can get it. I've never, to be honest, I never really sat there and advertised, but I can make that happen if I probably should do that. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
But I can get the game kits to make pinballs in the S3000s. The problem with the S3000 and people probably aren't going to know what that is off the top of their head. It's a newer type of cabinet.
This one.
Yeah.
That one right there.
So that's an S3000 cabinet. And I'm not saying this to be negative or scare anybody, because we sell them for home use. They're just a little bit more difficult to troubleshoot over the phone.
Yeah.
And it's just the way it is. I don't really feel like I don't want to sell a headache.
Right. Which, to be honest, I actually have not had any issues with my S3000 at all. I think when I first got it, it had like a light out on the side, but I was able to, wiggle stuff around and get it fixed. But other than that, it's never had an issue.
I think the reason I say that is because when we first started getting them, it took us a while to figure them out, and so it kind of always stuck with me. It's just like the Bally 6000. My dad hated that machine. Always said it was the biggest piece of shit in the world. Like they're fine, So it's just always stuck with me that a Bally 6000 is, is trash. They're just like S2000. They're fine, So it's kind of the same thing with the S3. I remember when we first got them a few years back. It's like, man, these things suck. But now we build them all the time. So just kind of one of those things in my head. But again, with any of these machines, the customer's got to realize you might have to dig into it a little bit. That's not our goal. That's nobody's goal. But you're buying a used electronics. So.
Absolutely. Another question on here. Obviously, kind of just the general function of the machines. Midlife Crisis Casino is actually asking about, can you put money into it, or is there settings where you can give yourself credit? There's actually both on these. So you can order slot machines that have a bill validator in them. I don't know, is that something pretty standard that you normally do, like the machines come with a bill validator, or do you try to more gravitate towards the free play?
We always try and gravitate towards free play. Always.
Yeah.
It's easier, less components on a machine. And really, if it's for your basement, you're for your home, you press a button, boom, you get 100 credits, $100 worth of credits, or whatever we set it to. When you have the bills acceptor, they sit, sometimes it gets dirty, and it's something else extra on a machine. It's any moving part on anything. The more parts you add to anything, the more chance of there being an issue. So we always try, hey, just do free play. You press a button, boom. Most people, when they get the machine, they like to put money in it, and then they don't care after 4 days. And then, their email, how do I just get free play on this? It's like Pac-Man. You'd rather, you really want to, how excited are you when you go to a little bar and there's Pac-Man's free and you don't have to put quarters in it or whatnot? It's just so much easier.
Right. Yeah, so for the free play system, it's pretty easy. It basically just turns the service button into, adding credits into the machines, where you can just tap the service button and it adds the credits right in for you. And you can adapt that too on the free play system about how much you want it to add in there. If you want it to add a certain amount of credits, a little more, a little less, all of that, you can adapt that. So both of the options are available. So for credits or for for using cash. Exactly. Let's see. I know Billy's asking which one was the single line top dollar. So the single line top dollar, it's going to be like the cabinet behind me. Most of them are going to be single line, except for, like, obviously you've got the top dollar deluxe, or if you're getting like a 5-reel top dollar or something like that. But if it's a regular top dollar, or if it's a double top dollar, it'll be single line on that one.
We do have. I forgot. We have a triple top dollar too. So.
Oh yeah, you do still have that one.
I do still have that. Yeah. Let me see if I can. Here's the top dollar that we have. It's on my phone, so it's going to be kind of hard to see. It's probably really. Yeah, it's really.
There you go. Yeah. So kind of classic, the classic ones that you would see at the casino.
Yeah. If you're interested, we do have a double top dollar, and like I said, the 5-line top dollar as well, and triple top dollar for the specialty ones.
Oh, let's see. So yeah, if you are interested in any of these machines or just getting machines in general, parts, software, anything like that, you can always text this number down below on the screen. And of course, mention the live stream. We would greatly appreciate that. Plus, you get to save some money if you do decide on ordering any products. So, talking about home game rooms, especially, what other things would you think would be like a big staple to have in a home game room, Chris? Like, what if you were to build a home game room, what would you want to have in it?
Well, a TV.
A TV, obviously. Yeah, no, I'm lacking on that. I'm lacking on that.
I mean, come on, man. They're not that. I can send you one. They're not that.
Oh, I know.
You go pick one up for a nice one for like $300 now.
I know. I just haven't gotten around to it. I need to get one down here.
But a TV. I've always loved Golden Tee back from college days. So I actually just bought one for our shop. I'm pretty excited about the newest version from Incredible Technologies that goes online. You can play against people, so I'm pretty pumped about that. Also, what's been pretty have you seen those Pac-Mans and centipedes like in the cocktail cabinet?
Oh yeah, I have seen those.
They're
those
really not
cool.
that crazy. The wife sent me a picture of it the other day. They're at Costco. They're really not that expensive. Like $4.99 or $5, something like that. You get all those classic games. Again, it just depends on your hobbies. You like to hunt and fish, and so maybe you want taxidermy animals on your wall or whatnot. A lot of people in their man cave will put sports stuff, and casino theme is fairly popular as far as the man cave goes. So I'm excited for your new one when you get it going.
I'm excited.
A dartboard.
Dartboard. It's funny that you mentioned that. So back when I had my shop, there was actually an order of machines that I got, and I went to go pick them up, and the guy had like a pallet of those electronic big bar dartboards. And I thought to myself, I'm like, that would actually be pretty cool to have. And I didn't realize it's just like any other arcade game. Like they are available out there on the market, but I haven't seen them since.
They've got some pretty sophisticated ones now. Where you can play. I could if I had it at my house here, you had it at yours. We can go online and play against each other.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So we've talked about getting one of those too. Just haven't done it. But I'm pumped about the new Topgolf coming in. And they do have those cabinets where you can get like 700 games in one. So there's a lot of stuff for man cave, and I always see these Instagram ads and what's the Pinterest, like there's some really cool man caves, and guess what, I hardly see any slot machines in them. And I'm like, a machine, even if you're not a gambler, just one, it
looks cool. Know?
It's a conversation piece as well, and it's not really like, it's not like a ping pong table. You buy an expensive ping pong table, and they're hard to sell, right? When you want to move them, or they're a pain in the ass, or a pool table. Nobody buys used pool tables because they're a pain in the ass to move and such. Or if you buy a pool table for $5,000, you're going to see it on Marketplace 5 years down the road for $500. Somebody just wants it out of there. The slots, especially depending on what you get, they pretty much hold their value. Some of them even go up, not many, not all. I'm not saying they all do, but some of them even go up in value. So it's not like you're dropping a certain amount of money and no. And if you need the money really bad, or you just want it out of your way, maybe. But in general, like that top dollar behind you could sell that what you paid for it if you wanted to.
Oh yeah,
right? Yeah, the pinball you could sell. I mean, you could get close to it. The S2000s back there, you could probably get more than you paid for them at the time.
Oh yeah.
I don't know when you bought. I don't know when you bought them, but
I bought those a while ago.
Yeah, and you probably paid half of what the retail price is now.
Oh yeah, no, there's no way.
Those machines in the back there, the S2000s, those are all S2000s for the viewers. Those are 20, 25 years old, 25-year-old machines, and people still enjoy and play and call and buy those machines all the time. Well, guess what? They're not in the casinos anymore. I mean, they are, but they aren't. There's not as many of them out there as there was 10 or 15 years ago. Let's say there's still a lot of S2000s in casinos, but what I'm getting at is that the supply of them is diminishing, which I think is going to raise or hold the value on those machines. I'm not saying go buy 100 S2000s and sit on them for 10 years and hoping that they'll double in price. If you want to, you can, but I don't. I guess what I'm getting at is it's not some. It's like a car, you drive it off the lot.
Right.
It loses its value overnight or whatnot. So hopefully that's
here's another question from EJ's Casino Escapades. Dragon Link machines. We actually were just talking about this right before the show. We were talking about the Helix cabinet and getting either like a Dragon Cash or Dragon Link or something like that, because those are kind of starting to come onto the private market now a little bit.
Yeah,
like
a lot
here
of
and there, they're trickling in.
You see them randomly. The problem is with all that Link stuff is it's proprietary, so you can't get the software.
Yeah.
But Dragon Cash and Dragon Link, Lightning Link, those are really popular. I mean, that's if you look at the aristocrat, like Eller's the report, like you always have the Link toward the top for the most played or most money won or best hold or whatever. So the Link games are super popular.
Yeah, and I know because we were talking about obviously like Dragon Cash, you can do standalone. Dragon Link, you could do standalone, but it's a little more. If you can find
the software, but like the Dragon Link, like you're normally going to see a Dragon Link at a casino that's hooked up to a bank of, 4, 5, 6 machines. So and that's something unfortunately we don't have. We can't get.
Yeah, all that Link software and stuff like that. Cruising with Thomas is asking if you sell the BB2 game chips.
Like software. All I have is general part on it, but just message us later, and as long as we have the game or it's not, we'll sell it. If I only have like one of like KISS software, I don't really sell that because it's hard to get, and so I want to sell the whole machine with that game in it.
Right. Jonathan's asking if there's a way to look up what casino a privately owned machine came from. Not really. There's really not a way. I mean, unless like if if Chris were to go get a big order of games from one particular casino, and then you'd buy it right after that, you could maybe say, it came from XYZ casino. But other than that, there's no real way to look back and see where it came from.
No,
although I will say sometimes there are remnants of the casino left in the game. I've gotten a few of those.
Yeah, I mean, like sometimes the ticket printer paper will say, but it could be a lie too, because maybe the machine came in without ticket printer paper, so we put some in from another machine to make it work, and it might say XYZ casino. Most of the time, I'm fairly good at knowing, but the problem is like I might have 100 blades sitting there and they're all black. I'm not going to remember. Right. There's certain casinos that I'm just going to know by the Formica. Like Beau Rivage has a very distinct, so I'm going to be able to see that machine if somebody asks and say, I came from the Beau Rivage. Or the Windsor Casino up in Canada has a very distinct Formica. The Win is gold.
Yep, the Win and Venetian, both.
The Win and the Venetian, I just got machines from the Venetian, and they have a very distinct brownish gold trim, so I can tell, even if it's 3 months from now, I'm machine somewhere else, I'm going to know that came from the I'm going to know that came from the Venetian.
Did they, sorry to sidetrack, did they ever make the S3000 in a gold? I don't think I've ever seen an S3000 that's gold.
I'm trying to.
I stumped you there. I'm trying to.
No. I don't think you did, because I'm going to go back through and look at this, because I won a couple deals at the Boston Encore Win, and they're all gold. I'm trying to think if there's S3000s on there, and I think there was. So I think I'll look when we're done and see if I got S3000s from that load. It was back.
I was going to say, because I've never seen a gold S3000.
But you're only going to see it at the Win or the Win or Encore, like the Win in Vegas or the Win in or Encore in Boston. And I've got machines from Encore in Boston, and they're all gold. Pretty sure
Huh.
S3000s were on that deal, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, I've never seen a gold
I'm sure they have.
S3000.
I'm sure they have.
There's got to be.
Yeah.
There's got to be at least one out there. Speaking of casinos, Cruising with Thomas mentions the Mirage. What happened to all the Mirage? I would assume. Now this is me assuming, but I would assume because the Mirage is reopening, obviously not as the Mirage, but they are, they're closing for renovation. They're not, they're completely renovating everything. I would assume that they're probably keeping most of their machines, but did they sell a lot of their machines?
So what happened was actually they put a list out to bid, and it was like 1,500 chairs. I don't even remember how many table games. Like 100 table games, which doesn't sound like a lot. Imagine moving 100 table games in a casino.
I couldn't barely move this one.
Yeah, Trump 2024, of course. All the stands, there was 1,000 or 1,200. It was something ridiculous. Tons of stands. Then they had all the machines. Now they had a list. I don't remember exactly. I can't remember because this was about 6 weeks ago to 8 months ago or 8 weeks ago that I bid on this. I want to say there was about 700 games on it, but they had it highlighted where they had it broken down into 3 sections, and I think they ended up only selling like 250 or 300 machines. And
Really?
the newer stuff they transferred to other properties or sold it, or they went back to the manufacturer because it was newer stuff. So a lot of that stuff might have been leased, or they might have sold it to other properties. And then the stuff that was up for bid, was the newest machine was a J43, I think, a J43 Wave XL, the 2 newer machines, and then you had all your other stuff on there. A lot of this stuff got thrown away because of the shipping, because there's just so much. I think there was we didn't win the deal. I didn't end up winning the deal. I just bought some chairs from who did, and I think they told me they threw away 15 just trailer loads of, because the freight is expensive to ship that stuff around the country, and I've done that before too. And I've just thrown stuff away there in Vegas because there's just yeah. So that's what happened.
So talking about like some other machines, what, like right now, do you have any kind of so to speak, of like surplus? Like what do you have the most of that you're willing to make a deal on for machines right now?
The blade machines, which if people weren't wondering what a blade machine is, it's the multi-game that's got certain sets of software on it. We got like Elvis, Monopoly, Beer House is on there, Planet Moolah I think is on there. There's 2 or 3 other games, and then there's another set of software that's got 14 games. We've got a lot of surplus of blades right now, and we have a lot of surplus of Huff and Puff, and we have a lot of surplus of just your standard Buffalo or China Shores. What I mean by that is we have that sort of cabinet that we have a lot of in our warehouse, and we're giving deals on it now because we're constantly turning equipment over, and we break a lot of machines down as well because we sell the parts. We sell parts back to the casinos. But we're constantly, giving deals on some of the stuff that we have excess inventory to.
So there you go. If you're out there watching and you are in the market for Huff and Puff or Buffalo, China Shores, anything like that,
anything
multi-game, hey, you could get a screaming good deal on it. So be sure to text that number down below that's up on your screen right now if you are interested in one of those games, because there's no doubt about it. They do look super cool. And it is really fun. My favorite game that I love playing, that I play a lot of, which I got from you, Chris, is my G23. Mm-hmm. I've got Ultimate X Poker on there, and that's one of my favorite games to play because it always just keeps you in and keeps you going. It's always something new. And a lot of times, I'll get a drink and come down here at night, and I'll just sit and I'll play Ultimate X, and time just gets away from you. So that's probably my all-time favorite game, but there's no doubt about it. Slot machines really just make any game room fantastic. And if you are just now joining us on the show, they do still have roulette wheels too, which I got this roulette wheel, which is a super nice roulette wheel from Slot Machines Unlimited. Did not get the table from you, Chris. And I will say this: 1 out of 10 would not recommend ever buying a legitimate roulette table. This thing took 6 people to move. It is heavy.
That's why we don't
because
sell. I won't
they
even
build
take them
it.
for free.
Yeah, they
Oh,
build it to where if you were to, if a player were to like get mad and like try to flip it, it doesn't move, and it's like lifting a car. It's
it's
would not recommend.
Talking Stick actually has 3 brand new Baccarat tables, and I'm like, and they're off.
Really?
I'm like, I don't even want them because they're
Yeah.
such a pain. I mean, really, all it is a poker table, right? With a different felt on it. They're like, we spent, I think it was like 20 grand or something for 3 of them that they bought. I'm like, honestly, I wouldn't even take it for free because it's just a poker table, and people don't realize they're. I can't even imagine getting that down in the basement.
It was very difficult. I mean, I was
Regret it?
fortunate enough. Yeah, I don't,
Not
because I
now,
actually
but
play. I actually play it a lot. I mean,
yeah,
like it is. I will say this: it is a lot of fun, and it's super cool to have a full size, like legit table. From the Tuscany,
yeah.
which I don't know if I ever told you this story, but this is a really cool story. So this table, when I got it, it has a cigarette burn in it right here. Like there's a little cigarette burn. So the Tuscany only had like 2, I believe only like 2 roulette tables. And I was having a game night one night, and a buddy of mine who Tuscany was like his favorite casino that he always would stay at or whatever, he came over. He didn't know I had this table. And normally for this cigarette burn, I have one of the cup holders over it.
Yeah.
And he moves the cup holder and he saw the cigarette burn.
He
And
probably
lo and
didn't.
behold, it was his. It was
That's
his
great.
cigarette burn. So I was like, I have your table now.
That's
It's cool. I mean, having a game room just adds a whole new dynamic onto your house, especially if you have extra space, like whether that's in the garage, a basement, a bonus room, something like that. It's just phenomenally cool, and I enjoy it. But that G23, I'll tell you what, that has got to be my favorite game that I love to play it. I
the
do.
G23 and the G20 are our 2 machines that we sell the most of, just because of the versatility on them. And before we got on here, I've known about Ultimate X since I've been around, and I never cared about it. And like I said, I was at Talking Stick. I want to say it was in March, and I went to the center bar there, had a drink, and I started playing Ultimate X. I don't think I got up for 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I just
it'll
kept putting
keep you
money
there.
in the stupid thing or whatever. But that Ultimate X game is really cool. And
It's
I've never
awesome.
I've never cared about video poker. It's the video poker people that really like it. I feel like they really know what they're doing, or there's a strategy to it. It doesn't really have the same thrill as a slot to a degree. You're not really. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but like if you're playing. If you get 2 pair on a jacks or better, you don't really care. But if you get, you win $300 on a slot on a line hit, you're excited. It's so. But the Ultimate X got me roped in. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
I love that game. It's kind of
Which,
scary.
because I noticed on your website you guys had some of the crystal cabinets now.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Do you have the new obviously, because you can put Ultimate X on those. Do you have Ultimate X software for those?
I'd have to check. I don't know off the top of my head. Probably.
I mean, I don't know if you'd have to
I would
switch the
assume
button
we
panel
do.
on it or not, but yeah.
I would
So
assume
I
we
mean,
do.
Ultimate X, gotta love that game. And I know. Let's see. EJ's asking, does the G23 have Keno on it? Absolutely, it does. It has tons of. I mean, I probably have like 20 or 40 Keno games on mine. I don't have any of them enabled because I don't play Keno, but they are on there. All I have to do is go into the settings and enable it, and poof, there it is. And Engelman Outdoors is asking, any deals on S2003 reels? Actually, you had which, by the way, guys, if you're not already following Slot Machines Unlimited on Facebook, really recommend you do that because they do post a lot of really cool deals and stuff. And I believe in one of your recent posts, you had quite a few S2s, actually.
We've got a decent
that
amount
were
of S2000s.
in there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Guess what else
So
we
there
got
are-
coming? You remember
Oh,
this
no.
one? Denver Duck.
What is it? What is it?
Denver Duck?
Denver Duck.
You don't know what Denver Duck is?
I don't
It's
recall.
It's a.
I don't recall.
It's a real touch.
Maybe somebody in the comments will know what Denver Duck is.
You'll know what it is when we get off here. It's a real touch machine. They're cool. In bobble time.
I'm gonna have to look that up now.
Yeah, you'll know what it is
Denver
when you.
Duck.
I get asked for that machine a lot. It's an older S2. It's like a bigger Vision. You know what a Vision is, right? Like the.
Yeah.
It's like a Vision but bigger. I don't know how to. You'll just look it up when we get done. Denver
You know
Duck.
You know that they do you? I don't know if you've ever got this. This is just a random thought off the top of my head. You know they put pinball on the Vision at one point.
Yeah,
Right.
I've had one before.
And
not
it's
the same.
they messed it up so bad. Like the
Yeah,
logo doesn't look the same, but they did make a version of pinball on the Vision, and
Mhm.
those are pretty
I have
difficult to
one
find.
before, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, I
I
know.
always love Vision and Real Touches. And Barcrest. Those are my favorite machines.
Yeah,
I,
those are cool. Let's see. And yeah, Cruising with Thomas was asking, games with wide area progressives, no, those will not work at your house. So anything like those big link progressives, those are not going to work, nor can you get them. And then also, obviously, Class 2 games, so red screen, bingo, those aren't going to work either, not for the home environment. But anyway, guys, so again, if you have any questions at all, whether you're looking for a slot machine or a roulette wheel, or maybe you already have a slot machine and you're looking for some software, I know I'm actually looking for some software right now as well. If you are interested in any of that or have any questions about buying machines, or even if you just want to call and see what they got, you never know. And like I said, a lot of deals right now going on, especially on Huff and Puff, Huff and More Puff. They have them. Text this
Buffalo,
number that's
China
on your
Shores.
screen. Yeah, Buffalo, China Shores, all of that. Text this number up on your screen. Text is always easier.
Text is better, yeah.
It's Avery's numbers, right?
It's Avery number. Yeah, Avery does our majority of our home sales, and then I usually, he'll ask me if we don't have an inventory. There's just so much stuff. So
Yeah.
he usually runs things by me, so I'm in the background of everything. So I got a question for you though, Brantley. Before we
Yeah, what's
go,
up?
are you going to go to G2E?
Oh, you're backing me into a corner.
I know.
Um,
You don't have to go, but I mean,
I keep
we are
okay. I
renting out
have my
senior frogs. We rented the whole company senior frogs. There's about 400 people there. So if anybody wants to come to senior frogs on the 8th, we're just gonna have food and some Coke, not food and some Coca-Cola.
I did book my room for G2E, so I booked for the Cosmo because I know Cosmo is in with MGM now. So I was like, well, I'll get a room over at the Cosmo. So I did book a room at the Cosmo. I'm still on the fence about going, but most likely I'll end up going. So I'll probably be there. I'll probably see you there.
Okay.
More likely than not.
I could get you VIP to the party at Senior Frogs, man.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah.
All right. Well, that makes it better. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. So I will plan to travel down there.
Have you ever been to G2E? Have you or no?
I've been to G2E almost every single year since my first time at G2E ever going was when the S3000 was released. That was the first time I ever went. That was, yeah, it was like 2013. 2013, I think, was my first time going to G2E, and I've gone pretty much every year since. So, yeah, I most likely will go again this year. Even though
Ed Watts? Hold on. Go to
Ed Watts. Hold on.
Is that Ed Watts?
I bought dozens of machines from Chris over the years, so great to see him on your channel. He's absolutely the best. Tell him I'll be in touch, and that I really miss April. All right, what's your story about Ed?
Ed, I remember Ed when we first were over at our first location, which Ed, it's changed a lot since I've last seen you, which was at my parents' house. Ed used to come and buy machines every, I want to say April, because we had a festival in town. Hamvention? Still don't know what that is, sorry. I think it has to do with radios or something. And Ed's from Maryland, and he has, I remember right, he had a business, and he was used to deal with Inglewood. Yep, he was used to deal with April. April's no longer with the company, and yeah, it's been a long time. But yeah, you probably bought, I don't know, 20, 30 games from us. You would probably come every year and buy 5 or 6 or something like that, I think. So it's been a long time. Good to see you on here.
Well, anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the stream. But if you are interested in building the ultimate game room, Chris over at Slot Machines Unlimited, as well as Avery, are more than happy to help you out with a huge, huge selection of games. Pretty much almost any. I can't think of a game that you guys don't have, to be honest. You know, so
Besides something that's
pretty
like
much
super new.
yeah. So as long as it's not super new, give them a call, give them a text. Numbers up on your screen. Reach out anytime. Be sure to mention Cowboy Slots. You save a little bit of money on your order. And yeah, build that ultimate game room, especially before February, especially if you're going to have a Super Bowl
You
party.
won't regret it.
I'm going to have one this year. I think I'm going to have
What, a
one
party?
this year.
Could
Yeah,
people even get to your
a
house in
Super-
February?
No. No, they probably won't be able to. So it'll probably be just, you know, local people, you know, neighbors
enough.
kind of
Yeah.
neighbors kind of deal. So, all right. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. Really do appreciate it. As always, best of luck. Stay safe. We will see you again next episode. Take care, guys.